yeah, boy.
Zone beats, boy.
Kia ora team, here you are with Big Boys Boxing. Once again, I'm Jono, your host. And as per usual, give me a minute here, I'll get some invites sent out, get some music going, booyah, and we'll get some conversation going about some boxing. So, over the weekend, I didn't really watch much boxing this weekend. Wasn't much on in the way of heavyweights. Wasn't any big, strong, competitive fights. I did see a bit of the Cal Brook fight. I didn't manage to catch Philip Hergovic. He beat Kevin Johnson over 8 rounds, decisioned him. But yeah, not much else went on in the way of boxing. So, yeah, like I say, just give me a sec here, I'll get a couple of invites sent out. There is a link in the description today for anybody else who might like to join, so I don't have to muck around with sending links individually. Kia ora Blackout, good to have you in, man. Yeah, I'll just get this invite done and then I'll get into a bit of chat. Boom. Regulars invites sent to you via Hangouts as well, if the link in the description isn't working for you. So, the big news, since I was supposed to do a stream on Thursday, but as most of y'all know, I was busy at the Joseph Parker Open workout. To catch some footage from that, you can check out the channel. There's Kevin Barry interview, there's David Higgins interview, Joseph Parker interview, and some footage from the workout itself. But yeah, that's why I didn't get a stream done last week, so I thought I'd better drop one today, even though there wasn't much happening over the weekend. Vasil Lomachenko had a win as well over Jose Pedraza, so kind of expected there, is what it is. So yeah, the big news pretty much is the WBC has agreed that they will sanction an immediate rematch between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. This is good news. As we know, Frank Warren and the British Board of Boxing Control were writing to the WBC to get an immediate rematch ordered. Now, to be clear, that is not what has happened. The WBC has not ordered the fight. So Deontay Wilder doesn't have to take the rematch if he doesn't want to. Now, I've noticed a few people around saying that Deontay Wilder doesn't want that fight because he's going to lose. That's a matter of an opinion to a degree. We have McGregor Boxing Stars in the house. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well, John. How's things? Have you enjoyed the last few days since we last spoke?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been pretty busy. I didn't catch much boxing over the weekend myself. I didn't get to see the Lomachenko fight. But realistically, I didn't think it was going to be hella competitive or anything anyway.
It was. It was actually more competitive than you might have thought.
Yeah, well, I've read a little bit about it. I heard Lomachenko dropped him, but Pedraza...
He struggled with him.
Did he? Okay. Well,
he struggled with him at range. It wasn't until he was able to get in close that he was able to scupper Pedraza. Like, he was outpointing him, but not comfortably. Not like you're used to with Lomachenko. His shoulder looks like it's carrying a bit of it. Still a bit of that injury, so he's kind of struggling with that. He's not... I don't know, man. It wasn't vintage Loma. Let's just say that.
Okay. Yep. Well, definitely going to be worth a look once it pops up on YouTube, if it's not already up on there. So yeah, I'll definitely go and have a look at that. Did you manage to catch Philip Hergovic at all, fighting Kevin Johnson?
He did what he was supposed to do. He just jabbed him.
Jabbed his head off pretty much, yeah. the old dog doesn't have much tricks left in the toolbox, does he? So
Like, you don't have to knock out Kingpin. All you need to do is get in there and beat him. Like, Hergovic, he can bang if he wants to, but he's not a seek and destroy kind of fighter. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's if you walk onto him, he's going to knock you out. And that's what happened with Mansoor. He walked onto him, he got knocked out. It's not like Johnson and Turner who both ran and he was just happy enough to just jab their faces off.
yeah. Well, and everybody knows that Kevin Johnson's not coming to, you know, he's going to sit
coming
back
to
and
pick up a little bit of a purse.
yeah, and he's going to try and counter you if he gets the opportunity. He's not going to come forward or be aggressive. You know, he's not going to take.
He's always been that way.
Yeah.
Even when he was a challenger or a fringe contender, you know?
Yeah.
Before he got this journeyman status, back when he was fighting like the Vitaly and stuff.
Yep. So, that's what it is, I guess. Moving on for Filip Hrgovic, onwards and upwards. Hopefully we're going to see him against the bigger name one day soon. He's definitely ready for it, I think. So,
I you know how I feel about Hrgovic. I'm big on Hrgovic.
Yeah.
I think he's the number one prospect out there for me. And I mean, Yoka's one of them too. I think they have more tools to the pro division than Joyce. I mean, Joyce will be troublesome. And Dubois a few years away, really.
Yep. Alright, so we'll get a little bit into what's going on with this Wilder and Fury situation. I was just explaining, a lot of people are talking about the WBC has ordered a immediate rematch. That's not the case.
I mean, they've sanctioned a fight to take place, and they said they will do what's within their power to prioritize it to a situation above mandatory, or make sure that the mandatory is happy. Something along those lines. So step aside money.
Exactly. And so it basically gives Wilder the opportunity to do what he wants.
They've said they've sanctioned the fight. There's literally, if he doesn't take the fight and if he says, oh, it's because it's not enough money, well, the first time he got enough money, the second time there's enough money. If he says no, it's because he doesn't want it.
Yep. I see Eddie Hearn's come out on Boxing Scene to try and clear it up. A lot of people are still saying that the fight's ordered, but from Wilder's perspective, I know a lot of people are saying he's not going to want that fight because he's going to lose. I don't think Deontay Wilder's afraid of losing. I think I'll
be honest with you, Dano. I think he'll beat him in the rematch. Even if Fury gets better, I think Wilder might have sussed him.
You reckon?
Yeah. I don't think Fury schooled him. I think Wilder knows he needs to throw with more volume more regularly. And when he came with the knockdowns before he was knocking them down, they came off of jabs to the body. I think he realizes he needs to go to the jab to the body because he can't headhunt. And yeah, I think he's kind of sussed it, because Vladimir, if you remember, he was pissed as well because towards the end of the fight he had finally sussed it and he really wanted that rematch. And when he fought Joshua, the way he fought against Joshua was not the original Vladimir Klitschko. That's how he would have fought against Fury. That movement, he was training to move, he was training to jab, he was training for a lot of volume, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I can see that point of view for sure. I'm not sure myself. I'm still sitting on the fence whether I'd pick either guy.
It's a 50-50.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50. It's a great fight, and we all want to see it as boxing fans.
And it's definitely going to be a hell of a lot bigger second time round as well. So, you know, this is the point that I was going to get to. The choices that Wilder has at the moment. A lot of people say that he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. I think he's got the two best opportunities that he's ever had in his career at this stage. He can play off Team Joshua and Team Fury to...
What was that, John?
I think Wilder's in a good place business-wise at the moment. I don't think he's between a rock and a hard place, because he can he can force Team Fury and Team Joshua to play off against each other. Who's going to pay him the most?
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Wilder right now, I think he might have made about 15 million total. Like, he had a 4 million guarantee, but I think after the cut, the pay-per-views and everything, like, he gets the US after 250. Like, I think he's come out close to like 12 to 14 million dollars.
Yep.
That's good money. That's very, very good money, man. And I can only say fair play to him. People are like, well, oh, he got offered 15 million for AJ and he got 5 million offered for White, but he split the difference and came out with nearly the same amount of money that he was going to get by fighting Fury.
Yep. So
the rematch is bigger now. I think this rematch is a bigger fight because more people are talking about this fight than they were before.
Yep. Now we noticed Eddie Hearn he's been speaking to Shelly Finkel, and he's been told to keep everything quiet, and he's doing so this time. Notice he's not talking about money whatsoever this time around. Prior to the fight, he was talking about if pay-per-view numbers did more than 250,000, he'd be looking at around 40% for Wilder, and if he did over 1 million, it'd be 50% sort of thing. So
I think a 40-45% in around there it's a good offer. I'm not gonna front. I know that there's a lot of American guys who'll be saying, nah, it's 50-50. It's not, but it's close. It is close. I think Joshua will bring an extra 100k pay-per-view, boys, in America. Easy. On top of that. Because it's undisputed.
Yep. I think around 45% is getting pretty fair as well myself. Considering the big boost that Wilder's had with his profile, with the fight, and the fact that if Eddie Hearn doesn't offer enough, Wilder will take that Fury fight, because it's going to be probably around 15 to 20 million dollars in his pocket as well. So, depending where the fight is as well, of course.
I mean, they could do it, right, look, they could do it in England at Old Trafford and do an 80,000 seat stadium. They could do it in America again, Madison Square Gardens, the Staples Center, or they could even do it in Vegas and get an Extreme Gate, yeah? They could even do it in Ireland if they wanted to and sell out Croke Park, which is an 85,000 seat stadium. Yep. Because they'll sell it out. Like, there was at least 8,000 Irish people there, man. It was crazy.
Yeah. Yep. You want to let us know a bit about the atmosphere? Did you really enjoy yourself because you were there, for those who don't know?
I loved it. Yeah. I loved every second of it. I'm gonna be honest now. It was my first American fight. The atmosphere is different to the UK, right? We're not gonna gripe about that, but there was a lot of people there from the UK and Ireland that brought the atmosphere there to some extent, right? But what I can say is that it was tense. It was very tense in the last few rounds. Very tense, John. And you could feel, it was like, you know, that 12th round before Wilder dropped Fury, you could feel both men's heartbeats as they got into the ring, like as they stood up. You could feel their heartbeat. It was crazy. And that's something I haven't experienced. I haven't experienced that in England, where you could feel that with the fighters' heartbeats. You know? It was like for a couple of minutes there, just like for about 30 seconds before that round kicked off, it was kind of deathly silent, you know? And that was special. That was a special thing to experience. All in all, the fans were great on both sides. The atmosphere was phenomenal. And the fight was as you've seen yourself, it was a blue chip fight. It was a fantastic heavyweight fight.
It was, man.
It was skill versus power. It was head movement versus speed. It was low volume, but it was exciting.
Yep, definitely. And in the arena, who did you think had actually won the fight, disregarding the judges' scorecards, obviously?
Fury.
Yeah? Okay.
I scored a 10-2 while I was there.
Yeah, and you've rewatched it since, obviously, and what did you think after the review?
At best, I've given it 9-3. At best. Okay. But if I'm being perfectly honest, looking at it, there is swing rounds in there. I can't actually understand the draw. And the only reason why is when you're throwing more punches, Wilder did throw more than Fury. And the difference in punches per round is 1 to 2, with the exception of 1 or 2 rounds, yeah?
Yep.
Anybody can make that error. Anybody.
Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty much of the same view. I could understand a draw, putting into account those.
I can't
swing
understand
rounds.
114, 111, or 115, 111, whatever that Mexican judge's card was.
Yeah, that's bullshit. There's no way Wilder won 7 rounds. Not a shit show, in my opinion. At best, you could give him 5. At best, I think. So.
I mean, do you remember round 10?
Yep.
Wilder landed 1 punch in that round, and Fury landed 10, right?
Yeah.
If you really wanted to, you could nearly score that at 10-8 round. If you really wanted to. He fucking battered him in that round.
Yeah, well, you could also argue the knockdown rounds, because, you know, after Tyson Fury got up,
he was still outlanded comfortably.
Yeah.
In the knockdown rounds. He was outlanded by 7 punches in each of those rounds, so fair enough.
Okay, yep. Fair enough, yeah. Well, personally, the first time round I scored at 114, 111. Effectively 8 rounds to 6, with the knockdowns included, you know.
Yep.
But second time round, I only managed to give Wilder 1 round besides the knockdown round, so I had it 115, 111 to Fury second time round. And just to note, Ring Magazine have done a survey, and more than 75% of people who participated in the survey thought Tyson Fury won the fight. So
I was part of that survey.
Yeah, so was I. Gotta get involved if you want to say.
At the end of the day, we're boxing fans, man.
Exactly. Alright, so we've got a couple of other fights this weekend. Obviously, we've got the
Before we get to that, have you covered the fact that Isaac Dogbo lost?
Oh no, I hadn't even seen the news on that yet. Who did he fight?
Yeah. I can't think of the guy's name. It's either Nazarati or Navarrete.
Okay.
He dominated him, man. He fucking dominated him. He was throwing, he was switching stances, he was landing hooks at will, jabs, counters. Dominant. Absolutely dominated him.
That was unexpected.
Fantastic performance. It wasn't to me. He lost earlier in his career, but as I've watched him, I thought he was brilliant. I've thought he's been brilliant as he's gotten better and better and better. And I thought he was always going to give Dogbo trouble. And people were, about a month ago, people were saying Dogbo would beat Rigondeaux. And I'm like, you gotta be crazy. Dogbo hasn't fought anyone. He has no experience. All he is a guy who jumps forward and lunges in with shots. An elite counterpuncher will fuck him up. And that's what happened.
Yeah. I've just seen the story here. Yeah, Navarrete, his name is.
Yeah, Navarrete.
Interesting. It's another one I'll have to go and try.
I'll jump back in the call. I need to call somebody real fast.
No worries,
I'll be back
man.
in a couple of minutes.
Sweet as. Alright, so yeah. I might just let the computer hoe read this quick story on Isaac Dogbo. So have a listen.
Dogbo vs Navarrete, live boxing scene scorecard. WBA lightweight world champion Vasily Lomachenko and WBO lightweight world champion Jose Pedraza exchanged pleasantries as they wait in a day before their title unification tilt, Saturday evening at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden, ESPN, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Photos by Mikey Williams. Click here for the live SCORECARD. In the co-feature, Isaac Royal Storm Dogbo will make the second defense of his WBO junior featherweight world title against
never mind that. It's not the actual story about it. It's just the live scorecard shit. So interesting. Yeah, we'll just wait for McGregor to jump back in if there's anything else you'd like to talk about before we jump into talking about some fights that are coming up on the weekend. We don't only have the New Zealand card, we have some other fights as well. I can't remember off the top of my head, so I better bring that up. Just have a quick look and see if we've got anybody talking in the chat. Give me a sec here, back to the view screen. Here we go. We've got a few in the chat. Kia ora, Young Cubby. Double A Boxing and Blunts in the house. Yeah. Phew, what are you guys talking about here?
I'm back.
Hey man, got that all sorted?
Yep, certainly got that.
No worries, man. No worries. Yeah, I was just saying, is there anything else we'd like to talk about that's happened over the weekend? Before we move on to some future fights.
Nothing of note. There wasn't a whole lot going on.
No, I didn't see a lot going on. I caught a couple of women's fights that were on a free stream through Fight Night on Facebook. But yeah, nobody that I knew. So yeah, I was pretty busy and didn't have much time to watch too much this weekend. Oh, Kell Brook. He looked a bit like...
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll tell you just how fucking crap Kell Brook was. I completely forgot about.
Yeah. Yeah, I only watched about 3 rounds of it because I was busy and I thought, oh, he's probably going to...
How are you going to go life and death for a few rounds with fucking Magic Mike, man?
Yeah. He looked very bad, so maybe he wants to try and find his form again somehow.
He's the #1 contender for Jarrah Hurd. What?
Yeah, he's going to get the brakes beaten off him. I mean, based on that performance, I'd pick Amir Khan. Amir Khan to beat him.
Nah, man, Amir Khan went life and death with Samuel Vargas. I mean, Zarafa ain't great, but he was punching up Peter Quillen before he got stretchered. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and Peter Quillen can punch. Zarafa can bang. Yeah. He's not terrible. He really isn't a terrible opponent. And even though it was at 154, Zarafa's really a middleweight. You need to remember that. So he's a big guy. He's a lot bigger than Kell. He had a reach advantage. Kell was just really sloppy.
Yeah, well, Kell's supposed to be elite, though. That's the point, isn't it? And
I get that, but
yeah.
Zarafa does have a chin. And I mean, those punches that landed on Zarafa, they land on Khan, they're knocking him out.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
But
yeah.
that was a dog shit performance. Like, I rated that like a 4 out of 10 performance.
Yeah, definitely. So where to next, do you think, for Kell Brook? Is he still going to try and get that Khan fight? I know Khan's trying to get who's he trying to fight?
Khan's trying to get Terence Crawford.
That's right.
Yeah. Khan's going to get slaughtered.
He would.
They should just fight each other. Just fuck it. Just get in, do a fucking stadium while you still can. Because it is now or never. And I'm not joking. Like, in another year's time, there's going to be no interest in anymore.
I agree. The winner of that fight could try and get Terence Crawford. That would make sense. But
I mean, if Kell Brook were to win that fight, which he could knock out Khan in 3 or 4 rounds. He can still go and fight Jarrah Hurd.
Yeah. And he's also
he's
also said to Eddie Hearn that he could still make 147 as well if he wanted to go and fight Crawford. So the options would be there for whatever he wanted to do, provided he doesn't fight like dog shit. You know, if it's a hella competitive
I'm
fight
reading your chat at the moment, Jono.
Yo.
And AA asked the question, take Porter off Brooks' record. How good has his career been? He's got 2 bionic eyes.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't look
That's how good his career's been.
He didn't look too bad against Golovkin, did he?
Until he got fucking killed.
Until he got
killed.
Look,
mate, it's easy. Killed. Yeah. It's easy to look good against Golovkin when he just walks through your punches. Think about it. He wasn't trying. He just walked through him and broke him. He wasn't doing any of his like jabbing. He wasn't moving back at all. It wasn't like when he was fighting against Jacobs where he boxed. It wasn't like against Canelo where he was jabbing him up. He just walked through Kell Brook and fucked him up when he wanted to.
Yeah, indeed.
So if you want to say like he didn't look that bad, I think he looked terrible if you really think about it, because Golovkin just did what he wanted at will. It was literally like he raped the poor guy.
Yep, fair enough. Alright, we'll move on to some of the fights coming up this weekend. We've obviously got the card in New Zealand here with Junior Farr and Joseph Parker on. I'll be heading to that card. Nothing hella competitive on it, really, but I'll be there, so I'm still excited about it. We also have a UK card, and I can't remember if is it the Daniel Dubois fight? No, that's next year. There's someone fighting this weekend in the UK. Give me a sec. I'll see if I can bring it up.
I'm so out of the loop right now, man.
Been busy with other shit. Real life stuff. Christmas is coming too, so everybody's freaking busy at the moment. So we've got to try and make time for our passion being boxing, but yeah. Sorry guys,
I mean, man, I watched Hergovich, I watched Dogbo, I watched Lomachenko, I watched Kelbrook all this weekend. I watched all of the cards. So, except the Hergovich card, I only tuned in for the main event. But there you go. That'll tell you. We really do try our best.
We do. Where's this card? I'm just trying to look it up here.
Somebody will tell us in the chat.
Yeah, if somebody can remember before me, I know there's a card on in the UK that's got at least one heavyweight.
AA says it's a BT card. Is it Nathan Gorman?
Oh, Nathan Gorman and Alex Leopai. That sounds right. Also, we've got Tommy Fury is starting up one of these days soon, and he looks pretty aggressive.
Adam Fahy said Dubois versus Cajano. Is that this weekend?
Oh, it might be.
That's not a bad fight. Neither is Gorman and Leopold. Those are good fucking step-ups, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Jesus, these boys are stepping up early.
It's like all of a sudden, come on, there's a whole lot of guys that have been padding their records. You know, all of a sudden started trying to fight real contenders. So, you know, shit's heating up for the heavyweights to a degree. Not so much at the top. I mean, it's pretty hot with those top three at the moment anyway. But a lot of these guys with their O's are starting to fight real contenders. So I'm happy about it.
Well, I don't mean to sound funny, I know, but real contenders, come on, Cajano and Leopold, they're not real contenders, but they're better than what they fought.
Oh yeah, oh sure. I mean, with the likes of Otto Wallen and Ajit Kabial's one lot that stepped up, there was Adam Kalnacki and Charles Martin fought. You know, these sorts of guys I'd consider real contenders, stepping it up.
I'd love to. There's a fight I'd like to see as a step up next year. Charles Martin and Nathan Gorman. That's a fight no one has thought about or spoken about. Probably will never happen, but that's a nice fight.
That's a good shout, man. That is a good shout.
Oh yeah, Fielding versus Canelo was on next week.
Oh, Rocky Fielding and Canelo.
Yeah,
Alvarez.
Rocky Fielding versus Canelo Alvarez is next week, Sean.
Oh, so we've got a few fights then to watch next weekend. That's awesome.
And apparently the amazing world-class Bradley Skeet is fighting next week. Bradley Skeet is terrible.
Who's he fighting? Anybody?
I have no idea, but he got knocked out by Lajarbagas, didn't he?
Yeah.
Kerman. Good old Kerman. He's a beast. That Spanish guy.
Who's Sonny Edwards? Don't know him.
Oh, Sonny Edwards fighting. I think I remember that.
Junior Granados, he's fighting.
It's a good fight.
Yeah, that's the main event apparently for Dubois and Cajano. That's what it says on BoxRec anyway, but maybe.
Also, apparently, there's two Ukrainian heavyweights, Serenko and Zavotsky, are fighting this weekend, I think.
Okay. Willie Hutchinson and Josh Miller as well.
Willie Hutchinson's a good fighter. Very good fighter.
Okay, we've got a few fights
There's
on.
some decent fights on. That's a good Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy that.
Sunday over here, but I won't be home until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'll only be able to catch American cards, unfortunately. It's a bugger, but I'm sure some of you YouTubers will be recording fights or be able to send me links to good fights over the weekend. I'd appreciate it if anybody could. That'd be awesome.
I'll do my best to record and send.
Awesome, man. Very cool. Yeah, so keep an eye out on Big Boys Boxing, because I have media accreditation for the Parker Flores card, so I should be able to get some interviews with Junior Farr and Joseph Parker. I also have a meet and greet with him, and a few other fighters. If anybody didn't know, Duco had brought in mandatory MRI scans to be able to get on their cards, and they picked up a problem with one of their fighters, and he's been cancelled off the card, so it's potentially saved a life already. The first card they've held since they've made these compulsory MRIs. So with a lot of the tragedies that's happened in the last little while, I'm hoping maybe some other promoters will follow suit and you know, make it mandatory, possibly down to every 3 months if you're fighting consistently. As it is, I think it's mandatory to have an MRI yearly if you're fighting on an international scale, but you know, if you're fighting 5 and 6 times a year, I don't know if that's enough precautions myself. I'd prefer at least once every 6 months. You got any thoughts on that, McGregor?
Thoughts on what exactly? On the MRI situation? I think it's fantastic for boxing.
Yeah.
I think it's necessary, needed. Always has been. It's looking like it's going to do a good job.
Fair enough. It's all good. Yeah,
safety first.
Yep. So we'll run a couple of predictions. How do you think Daniel Dubois is going to go against Razvan Kajanu?
It depends. How many rounds is it?
I think it's a 10 rounder. Give me a sec here. What do we got? Daniel Dubois, Razvan Kajanu. It doesn't say on the main page. I have to go into the belt. Where are we?
I reckon Dubois will win. Probably by TKO, like a referee steps in after Kajanu takes a lot of shots or something like that.
10 rounds, yeah.
TKO, in around round 6 or 7.
Yeah, I'm kind of... I don't know what to expect from Razvan Kajanu. You know, if he fights like he did against Joseph Parker, then it's going to be a 10-round decision to Dubois. If he takes a lot of risks like he did against Luis Ortiz, he's going to get knocked the fuck out. But if he meets somewhere...
Well, there is one other thing. Parker never really stepped on the gas against Kajanu. He could have got him out there whenever he wanted, but he didn't.
Quite possibly. He did seem to
I don't think that came down to Kajanu. I think that was more down to Parker just not being aggressive.
Yeah, quite possible. And at that stage, it was before he had his elbow surgery, and he looked to me like he gassed a bit in that fight as well. It's a bit different condition these days, but you could be right. He could have stepped on the gas and possibly got him out of there. But yeah, if Kajanu can possibly balance a bit of, you know, balance defense with offense, he could make it competitive. I don't think he could beat Dubois. But then again, if it goes...
I'm going to ask you a serious question. Do you think he could outbox Dubois?
No.
Why not?
I haven't seen any decent offense enough to trouble Dubois, to be honest.
Have you ever seen any decent defense from Dubois?
Not really from Dubois. No, he hasn't had to defend because nobody's brought the offense on him. So
can Kajanu counterpunch?
That's probably his best shot of winning the fight, is catching Dubois with a good counter.
Because Dubois leans in and he throws a lot of combinations.
And his head does not move So it's a pretty stationary target the whole fight.
Like, who's got more power in your opinion? Kevin Johnson or Kijanu?
Probably Kijanu,
I'd say
to be honest.
Kijanu.
Yeah.
Like, quite a lot. I'd say he's got a lot more. Kevin Johnson, Rock Dubois with a counter.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. If Kijanu could catch him with a few good counters, heavy counters, Dubois might not have the best chin. And like you say, he's been rocked. So, yeah, we'll see, I guess. Could be interesting.
We don't know just how good he is yet. He's still really young, man. Taking a fight like Kijanu and Johnson, that's fair play to him. Because he's only 20.
No, he's 22 now, I think.
Are you sure?
I looked that up the other day. Because
Nathan Gorman's 22. There's no way Daniel Dubois is the same age as Gorman.
I'm just about to find out.
Someone in the chat will post. For sure.
Stance. Where is he? Birthplace. Where's his birth date? Height. Doesn't have his birth date. God damn it. Birthplace London. 6'5". Ah, here we go. 21.
He's 21. Okay.
Yeah.
So he'll be turning 22.
Yeah, his birthday is in June. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, September. Boxrec writes these dates backwards for me. He was born in 97, 09, 06. So is the 06 the month or is the 09 the month?
How old does that make you feel, John? When you hear
Don't talk about my age. Come on, man. I'm old.
That makes me nearly feel old, and I was born in the same decade.
It's funny, yeah.
97. Fucking hell.
At the other day when I was at the open workout, I was talking to some other media guys and talking about the era of David Tour and whatnot, and how they were young teenagers when David Tour retired, and they was asking what kind of boxers did you watch when you were a kid. I was pretty reluctant to answer, but when I said, "Oh, Jimmy Thunder," they were, "Oh, how old are you?" I just said I'm old, so I'll leave it at that.
Jimmy fucking Thunder, Jesus Christ!
Crack up shit. But yeah.
I was lucky enough to be just old enough to catch the end of the Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis eras.
Yeah. Yeah, I was well into a boxing fan by watching that stage. But yeah, it's all fun. Alright, man, so do you think Wilder's going to take this rematch, or do you think he's going to go for Joshua? You got to pick?
I think he's taking the rematch.
Yeah, I think he's with the rematch too. I don't think he's scared, even if his team thinks he's going to lose. I don't think Wilder's scared to lose. He wants to take on a challenge, and by all accounts, I think he wants to prove to his fans that he can beat Fury. And I think it's still a damn good fight. It's a tough pick. I think Fury is very adaptable. He might fight differently in the next fight. I don't think he's going to be leaning down to his left as much to avoid the right.
He needs more volume, John. He needs more volume.
He does. He can take some confidence from the fact that he did have Wilder hurt several times in that fight. And, you know, I think there's a lot of people that aren't saying that Tyson Fury has pillow hands anymore because of that. He's a big guy.
Yeah,
he can.
He's never had pillow hands. He's never had pillow hands. And anyone who knows heavyweight boxing knows that Tyson Fury's been able to rattle guys on the back foot. So
he just picks and chooses what he wants to put all his power on. Yeah, he doesn't put his power on every shot like Wilder does, because it will throw you off balance and make you vulnerable. So, you know, he's just a smart fighter. But I'll be interested to see what adjustments Wilder makes. Hopefully he doesn't make that
He
serious...
needs to jab to the body. He needs to jab to the body.
Well, that was part of the game plan, but he strayed from it this time. The occasion got to him and he just wanted to... I want to knock him out. I wanted to put him away. And he's got to
jab to the body. Set up. He needs to set up his shots. Once he sets up his shots, he's a lot more dangerous. We both know that.
Yep. I agree. So, for now, I'm not going to pick a winner for the rematch. First, it's got to get made, but then I'd like to see what condition both guys are in close to the fight. And I'll make a prediction.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not making an official prediction until I see both of their weights.
Yeah.
I'll leave it that long. I'll wait till the weigh-in day and I'll make an official prediction then when I know what weight they both are and how they look on the scales.
Fair enough. Alright, so that's probably pretty much us for today. I've got a bit of shit to do, so I'm going to have to cut us off there. But
are you not making a prediction for Field and Canelo, Jono?
Is there a need?
Yeah, of course. He's a big guy, Rocky can bang.
Yeah, I still think Canelo's going to stop him. Round 9.
Round 9?
Yeah.
You're giving Rocky that long? Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he'll take a bit of breaking down, so... Yeah, 9 rounds.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Canelo. I don't know what are points to knock out Canelo.
Just Canelo? Fair enough.
Just Canelo. If it's points, it's Canelo. If it's knockout, it's probably still Canelo. But you never know. Rocky does have power.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He troubled Callum Smith. For that first round, like people forget, he did actually hurt Callum Smith.
Yep.
So
Canelo's got a chin, though.
Canelo, yeah, but has he got a chin against 168 pounders that should be fighting at light heavyweight?
Yeah.
Rocky's big.
We're going to find out. Is there any rehydration clause or anything like that with that fight, I wonder?
Not that I know of.
Okay. So
I don't think Canelo would want one because that guy can get up like to 200 pounds.
Okay. We'll see. Well, I wonder what his fight weight will be when he comes in the ring. He'll probably be around 170, 175 maybe.
Yeah.
In the ring, so I don't know what Canelo will be in the ring. He'll probably only be about 168 maybe, tops, after the weigh-in. Yeah, we'll see how much of a part that's going to play. I should be home for that fight. Are you thinking about possibly doing a commentary stream for that, McGregor?
Yeah, more than likely I will. I probably will do commentary on that. I'm not too sure. Like, it really depends on what fight I'm more interested in. If it's on the same time as the Dubois-Kajanu fight, I might watch the Dubois-Kajanu fight instead.
Isn't that fight in the UK? So that'll be on...
Oh, yeah, that's true. It'll be on hours beforehand. Yeah, I'll probably... It depends, man. It could be a late one. And I don't know how I feel about doing commentary at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
But I'll definitely do the UK guard.
Well, there you go. So, everybody, make sure you get over to McGregor Boxing Stars. It'll be on Sunday morning, New Zealand time. Or, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, get over.
What time is it for you right now?
What time right now? It is 10:52 a.m. here.
So it'll be about that time. It'll be about 10:30 to 11:30 New Zealand time on Sunday morning.
Yep. And the Canelo Fielding fight will probably be around 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. So, yeah, make sure you catch those fights and make sure you get over to McGregor Boxing Stars and subscribe. So, yeah, thank you very much for joining me once again, McGregor. It's always a pleasure. And
as always, Shannon.
And everybody in the chat, thanks for coming in, dropping your comments. Next time, don't be afraid to hit that link. I'll leave them in the description these days, so they're very accessible for anybody to come and join the panel and have their say. So that's about us. Any final words before we go, McGregor?
If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, and if you're tuning in on Archive, please subscribe and tune in for more content. There's going to be coming up with Parker and everything like that, because Jono has just said that he has the media pass, so stay tuned for that.
Indeed. And I'll be doing a bit of a vlog of the trip as well. You know, some videos when I arrived to the arena, the hotels, the trips, basically the trip pretty much. I'll document it for the Rock radio station. So thank you very much to the Rock radio station for hooking us up. Alright, that's us for today. This is McGregor Boxing Stars and Big Boys Boxing. We out. See you.